Hello everybody, Justin from Playing Board Games here, and today I'm excited to tell you that next week is a new theme week on the channel, Dunwich Legacy Week! Yay! Yay! I'm not going to explain too much on this slide because the next slide is going to start the explanation and I'll do most of my talking there. What is Dunwich Legacy Week? So, instead of our regularly scheduled programming, we have 7 days of content focused on celebrating the Dunwich Legacy. With current just around the corner, it's likely that campaigns are going to be going out of print, and with this in mind, we view these campaign theme weeks as a celebration and final capstone to their place in Arkham's catalog. I know we're a little bit early, they haven't announced officially what current is going to be, but I think it's a fair, safe assumption that stuff like Dunwich Legacy campaign is going to eventually leave, and at a certain point we need to stop making content in the sense that like we do content for like every single thing in great detail. So campaign weeks are our next big focus for this. I'm going to talk more about that later at the end of this video, but I'm going to save that for then and not get ahead of myself. In these theme weeks, they're very fun to do. We take a theme, so in the last 5, we did the classes, which was nice and easy. We started with Guardian, Seeker, Rogue, Mystic, and Survivor, and we had a variety of videos for it. Like with this, we are taking the Dunwich Legacy and using both the campaign and the player cards to kind of just celebrate the whole thing, and we're going to have videos about it, mostly discussion, and then one gameplay video to go with it. We're going pretty deep with this one, and we're trying out some new things, so I hope you're excited for it. And you're ready to kind of see what it's all about. So, without further ado, and without not too much yapping, let's get into the 7 videos that are going to be coming out in that one. So, to open up the week on July 21st, Monday, July 21st, we're going to be doing the history of the Dunwich Legacy. Unlike our class weeks, we're starting the campaign theme weeks with the history of video. I think it's important to set the scene and give context for the campaign and player cards at the time of their release, and set the stage for the rest of the week. A big reason for this is because some people who might not, who've only played Dunwich Legacy once, or need to just get like a little bit kind of more into what that means, what the context of it was when it released, what the player cards were when it released, all that kind of stuff. I feel like having the stage set gives a lot of context for the rest of the theme week going forward. This is going to take a different form than the previous history of videos, and I hope you dig it. I'm going to try something a little bit different, and I don't know, to be honest with you, if it's actually gonna work. So there might be some changes. I haven't recorded it yet, but I have like a mind map and a plan for it when the time comes. But there could be a slight audible at the last moment. I'm recording this, to be honest with you, at the end of June. And we've recorded some of these videos, but I'm going away for a bit, and I have to get ahead on the YouTube schedule. So a lot of these Dunwich videos are going to come in later, but I have plans set, and they're going to be good. This one is going to be not like a 3-hour marathon like the last ones were. It's going to be more short and concise and kind of just give a bit of context of the cards and the campaign and when they were released, when they did. So yeah, that's going to be Monday to start the week off. On Tuesday, the next day on July 22nd, we have the lore of the Dunwich Legacy. So Travis, Bryn, and I will dive deep into the lore of the Dunwich Legacy campaign, giving context for it regarding its inspiration from the Lovecraft mythos and more. After that, we're going to build thematic decks that would fit into the campaign's story to bring a standalone game later in the week. Goodbye staples, hello pure theme for this one. So, this is a very interesting video. I know you guys have asked in the past for us to do lore videos on the channel, and we've always just haven't. There's never been a time that just felt right to do a lore video. They require some back-end work, and they feel kind of a little bit like floaty to just do them randomly. But luckily, when we have these theme weeks for the campaign, this seems kind of like the perfect time to do the lore for these. So I set up a plan, and then Travis made it perfect. Travis is a big lore hound for this kind of stuff. He's very knowledgeable with it, and Travis did a very good job. We actually just recorded this one yesterday, and I think you're going to like it. Travis brings up a lot of cool stuff, the connections between the original short story for inspiration and a lot more, as well as how these impacts have been on the campaign for where the inspiration was for all that. This is a very cool video. And then, as I mentioned at the end, we're going to be showcasing decks. We built 3 theme decks to go with it through a standalone later in the week because we still got to do our standalone gameplay. We love them. On Wednesday, we have the return on the 23rd. Worry not, yearbook fans. The Arkham Horror yearbook series continues from our previous theme weeks. Travis, Brent, and myself get together and vote on winners of a variety of fun categories inspired by yearbook awards from high school. Sure, it may be 18 years since I've been in high school, but I still remember what a yearbook is, and I hope yearbooks are still a thing today. It'd be a little bit unfortunate if they weren't. They would really date this series even more. But these are fun. I love these yearbook videos. They're some of my favorites to do. We just get to like have a bunch of fun theme topics that are going to continue in the rest of these campaign weeks as we do them. But additionally, on top of that, it's going to be really like, it's fun to see how the votes lay out and how the patrons end up breaking ties if that ever happens. And then we just get to like talk about the campaign for like an hour and the player cards and some of the the campaign and stuff like that. It's a very fun time. It's a very popcorn video, and I like kind of balancing the big talky ones and like the fun ones and the informational ones, as you know, on this channel. I like to have a good variety for you as the viewers at home, and this one is just pure fun with a lot of like analytical thought regarding the treacheries and enemies that exist and the scenarios themselves. We're going to find out what we think is the best and worst scenario from this campaign. So that's going to be on Wednesday, July 23rd. On the 24th, it's Thursday, so you know what that means. That means it's a list video. So I'm joined by Daniel from Quick Learner to discuss 5 cards that define the Dunwich Legacy for each of us. It wouldn't be a theme week if there wasn't a video with me and Daniel yapping, so here it is for this one. We're going to just have like a gloves-off yap sesh about all of these cards that define the Dunwich Legacy. There are a lot of cards from that set, that campaign, that stood the test of time. Seriously, we had a hard time figuring out like some of the best ones, some of the worst ones, because man, the treachery design in this one actually is pretty stellar. But we have to like figure out what are the cards that hit the mark best for what shaped what the Dunwich Legacy is. There's a lot of notable like locations, treacheries, enemies, but what are the ones that like define it the most? So we're going to talk about it, have a good time, and break into that for the Thursday list video for Dunwich Week. On Friday, we have our gameplay. So we have the standalone gameplay for the lore-accurate decks that we built on Tuesday. We'll choose one of the scenarios from Dunwich to 1, probably the one that we voted best as part of the yearbook video, and see how the decks manage their campaign. We love our standalone runs, and we always like to do them, and it's fun to find different changes for them. The decks that we built for these are going to be a good time, trust me. This is going to be a great little standalone scenario that I think you're going to enjoy if you're a big like standalone gameplay Andy, and if you aren't, maybe it's time to start becoming one and come join us for the fun for this one. So this one also, the thumbnail is subject to change. I like to kind of determine as well when the gameplay happens, see if I can make a reference from it. This might stay the same, mind you, but there is a chance that it could change. I do not know yet how it's going to shape up. We're going to have to figure that out, but get ready for this one. The decks are great. I don't know if the gameplay is great, though, but it usually is with Travis, Brent, and I. Seriously, in the class theme week ones, we had like early advancement, we had like a slaughtering sledgehammer, we had Rex and Mandy desperately scratching to try to beat Acolyte enemies. It was a good time, so we'll definitely have an enjoyable one here. On Saturday, July 26th, we have How Good is the Dunwich Legacy? So nearing the end of Dunwich Week, I attempt to leverage the community to answer the question, how good is the Dunwich Legacy? I set up a poll, which you can find in the video description. You should go fill it up now because I would love to get some more entries before I actually have to record this video. But it's going to allow people to give grades for each scenario, and I'll add up all those ratings to have a final rating for the campaign. Again, it's in the video description, but no promises your vote will make it to the video, depending on when you fill it out. But if you fill it out the day that this comes out, P.S., you're probably going to make the video. I want to get a bunch of responses rating each scenario of how good, fun, and well-designed they are, and then I'm going to use that information to kind of just make a big slideshow, and we're going to dive in and just kind of like look at this and see how it compares to everything else for all these theme weeks going forward. This is probably going to be a staple between all the theme weeks, so look forward to this for each of these. But this one is going to be fun because I like looking at numbers and I like looking at stats, and this is going to just be Stat City. Let me just move this piece of paper that is just like literally bouncing a beam of light into my face. You actually can see the difference. That's it there, that's it gone. That's crazy. Anyways, let's go to the final video here for Dunwich Week. There's no history of, so what is it going to be instead? Looking back at the Dunwich Legacy. So now, I know this might sound like the history of, but this video is very different. So you've heard me talk a lot on this channel about the Dunwich Legacy. And there's a lot of videos where I'm just talking about the scenarios and all that. But I wanted to reach out to some of the other voices in the content creator world to get their thoughts on this. So to close this out, I reached out to a bunch of different content creators to give their thoughts on the Dunwich Legacy. And it was kind of just like one final big celebration here to close out Dunwich Week, and then also maybe allow you to find a new content creator in the process, which I think would be pretty cool for everyone involved. So yeah, I think that this is going to be a very fun video once it's all put together, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm going to enjoy hearing all these other opinions from all these awesome content creators while we're getting all this footage recorded for it. So that is Dunwich Legacy Week. I know when we first announced that our next theme weeks were going to be campaigns, some people expressed disinterest, but I feel as though giving each campaign one last big final content hurrah is a great transition into the new format. I will say, it's not that we're never going to see content about Dunwich Legacy again after this. It's not like we're saying, like, goodbye to Dunwich Legacy and we're never going to ever talk about it or play it on the channel again. That's not going to happen. I own the cards, I want to play the cards, I want to talk about the cards. Additionally, I believe that these expansions are never going to actually die because of the how you can play this game through Tabletop Simulator and the like. However, it is likely going to be the last time we talk about Dunwich Legacy to this level, right? Where we're going to do deep dives and all that, because eventually Dunwich Legacy is just going to, as far as we know, be gone, right? So it's going to be one of those things where we're not going to be able to do like a yearbook video for Dunwich Legacy. We're not going to be able to do like, it seems weird to talk about cards that define the Dunwich Legacy when it's been out of print for like 4 years, right? So this is kind of, in theory, a big last hurrah for all of these campaigns for like hyper-focused content on the channel. We might still see list videos that are like the best scenario from each campaign. Dunwich Legacy might show up, right? We might see stuff that's like the best, like ranking the first scenarios from the best, like ranking the best player card from each, like the best secret card from each campaign, each cycle, right? But we're unlikely to see focused campaign videos again, so that's kind of what this is. Never say never in the content creator world. You never know what's going to happen, but at the same time, I think that this is just a reasonable step to take. So, thank you for your support on our channel, and I hope you're looking forward to some of these videos that we have lined up for you. Travis and I tried to put together some cool stuff and some good variety for this theme week, and I hope that you all are excited. I would love to know in the comments what videos you are looking forward to, because then that kind of gives me a little bit of an oomph to make sure that those videos are extra special for you. And then also, as well, we're using this to learn for the next campaign week. Likewise, how the first Guardian week kind of was a tester, we kind of get our footing more in the next one. So I imagine in Carcosa and Forgotten Age, we're going to have a bit more of an understanding of what we need to do, and your comments help us shape that content better. In the meantime, I want to see you all next Monday for the start of Dunwich Legacy Week. I'm very excited for you to see all this content. I love doing this for you guys. I really do. And I hope that you can feel that love and excitement through these hype videos for this week. If you want to support me, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing. Also, if you want to go above and beyond, you can join all these awesome names here on our Patreon. The $3 a month tier gives you a deck list, 2 deck lists actually, and on the higher tiers, you get to join for gameplay days as well as you get videos every week as well. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.